Hey, my friend. Today, I want to share with you one of the most powerful ideas ever taught by Neville Goddard, the idea of living from the end. You might have heard this phrase before. It sounds simple, even mysterious. Live from the end. But what does it really mean? And how can this principle actually change your life? Let's talk about it, heart to heart. Not as a lecture, not as theory, but as a warm, honest conversation about how reality really works. You see, most people live toward their dreams. They imagine something they want, maybe love, money, freedom, health, and they start trying to get there. They visualize, they affirm, they hope, they wait. But deep down, they're still feeling, I don't have it yet. And that feeling, that inner state of waiting, keeps them stuck in the same place. Neville said, "You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are." When you start living as if it's already done, when you feel it, when you rest in that state, your world begins to rearrange itself to match that inner reality. It's not magic, it's law. Imagine this. You plant a seed in the ground. You don't dig it up every 5 minutes to check if it's growing. You trust the process. You water it. You let the sun do its work. You go on with your day, knowing that the result is already on its way. That's exactly how the principle of living from the end works. Let's make it simple. Living from the end means being the person who already has what they desire, not pretending, not forcing, just quietly knowing it's done. If you want love, feel loved now. If you want abundance, feel abundant now. If you want health, feel whole and alive right now. Not because you're trying to attract something, but because that's who you really are. And your subconscious mind, that deep creative power within you, always mirrors what you believe yourself to be. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman who learned Neville's teachings. She wanted to reunite with a man she truly loved, but they had been apart for years. Instead of chasing him or worrying about how it might happen, she began to imagine, every night before sleep, that she was already married to him. She felt his presence beside her. She could feel the ring on her finger. She felt peace. She felt love. She did this night after night. And one day, she ran into him by accident. Everything unfolded naturally, and soon they were married. What changed? She didn't make it happen. She became the version of herself who already had what she wanted. And reality had no choice but to reflect that. Living from the end isn't about forcing outcomes. It's about trusting that your inner world is the creative power. You drop the struggle, the how, the doubt. You simply become the one who already lives the answer. Neville used to say, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption. It means feel it real and stay in that state. Not for 5 minutes, not only during meditation, but as often as you can throughout your day. When you drink coffee, drink it as the version of you who already succeeded. When you go for a walk, walk as the version of you who already knows. I am blessed. You don't wait for something to happen. You live it now. And yes, sometimes the outer world still looks the same for a while. Don't panic. That's just the old story fading away. Keep resting in your new state. Because remember, this world is a shadow of your inner self. Change the inner, and the outer must follow. So, here's a little practice you can try tonight. Before sleep, close your eyes and imagine that you're already living the life you desire. Not as a dream, as a memory. Like it already happened, and you're remembering how good it felt. Feel gratitude, calmness, joy, and then drift off to sleep with that feeling. Do it again tomorrow, and again, until it becomes natural. Because what's natural to you becomes your world. My friend, you don't need to chase. You don't need to fight. Just live as if it's already done. The key is trust. The key is peace. Remember, the version of you who already has everything you desire already exists. You just need to tune in to that frequency, like turning a radio dial. When your inner state changes, life responds. Always. So, tonight, Live from the end. Smile, breathe, and know it's already yours. And as always, never forget, anything is possible.